Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I'm Create with Kelly Pitts, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm thrilled that you're here, whether you've tuned in live or you're watching the replay on YouTube or Facebook. I'm happy that you're here. I hope you enjoyed Winnie the Pooh storybooks when you were young, just like I did. And I know a lot of people have kids, grandkids still reading those storybooks. So we're thrilled to have that collection in our Stampin' Up! Online exclusives now that came out in May. So that's what we'll be using today is some of the DSP, the designer series paper from the Silly Old Bear suite, and also several other different phrases from different stamp sets. So kind of playing with that. And I've got a collection of 10 cards at least that will be on a PDF tutorial, and I will probably be adding 3 more that I've already done. So we will get those videos going shortly also. But today, right now, we're on card number 2 in our Pooh Storybook collection cards. And this is from, let me show you how these frames start out, or these scenes. This is on one of the pages, and you can see I've already cut out there. What I really recommend on this sheet, I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera over so you've got that full screen. I recommend when you've got a 12 by 12 piece and you're trying to cut the scenes, whichever way you can go, make a straight line cut through all 12 inches on the 12 by 12, which would be cutting between these. Cut a straight line, cut a straight line, cut a straight line, and then you'll go back and individually separate each piece. I just had to do this one because we made a mistake on my other sheet, but you can see we're going to be using a lot of these different ones on various scenes. And this is the scene for this one. And the words, sweet words and labels dies are what we'll be using to cut those out. There are 18 different dies in this set, which is awesome. And you just pick out the one that goes with your scene here. And that one you can see is a little large, so that's one of our layers on the card. And then this is the largest layer on our card. So you cut this out first, obviously. And then this one, I believe, is what we used for the inside, just to cut that out. Yep. So this goes right around that. You can see it is a tight fit. So you'll have to use some either washi tape or post-it tape or whatever you'd like to cut that out of this sheet if you have a full pack of this sheet. If you ordered my card kit, then you have it already cut out for you. But I'm going to show you how simple it is to make this little triple layer card here with Pooh and Piglet. I'm going to put that butterfly back in my envelope there where I won't lose it. Okay, we have Hydrangea Hue, which is one of our new in colors that just came in. It will be here for 2 years, 26 to 28. And this is our card base, Hydrangea Hue, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, a typical card base size. And then we have some painted patterns paper that comes in the 24 to 20, 26 to 28. I'm having trouble with that today. 26 to 28 in colors. So that is about 5 1/4, almost 5 1/4 by 3. And then we also have an inside piece of the stripe that is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. And then we have this other striped piece, which is about 1 1/4 inch by 5 1/4. Okay. So that's our pieces. And then we've cut out a Hydrangea Hue, and we've cut out an early espresso frame. And sometimes if you're not careful with the frame and punch out these little diamonds each time or whatever that shape is, they'll kind of get stuck in your cardstock, but they do come right out. So it's easier to go ahead and poke those out of the frame before you use it again. Okay, we'll get started here. This is for the inside. We'll go ahead and do our stamping first, I guess, or yeah, we'll go ahead and glue. We've got the little glue mat here. And I usually open my card up where I've got it just so I'm working on the portion that I'm trying to work on. And we're going to audition our pieces. We're going to decide, do we like more of the polka dot showing, more of the stripe showing? The measurements I gave you will be in the PDF if you decide you want to purchase one of those that has all the, at least 10 cards, probably 13. So the stripe can go over the polka dot, or the polka dot could go over the stripe. See, if you want less of the stripe showing or more of the stripe showing, however you want to do it, you've got some options there. I think I'm going to have the stripe come all the way up. And then we have this little piece of white. And I think this is a little too wide. So I'm going to tuck it under the stripe and get it the way I want it. Okay, so that means the bottom layer is going to be the polka dots. So I know that I can go ahead and do the polka dot layer now. We'll put it on flat and put it on first because we're going to layer on top of it. Okay. And then I think what I'm going to do is decide how much of that white I want showing, which is about like that. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to this piece. I'm just going to go right along the edge right here and attach the white to it, or attach it to the white, whichever way you want to look at it. So however wide you want that to be. If you want more white showing, move it down a little further. Whoops. I tried to pick it up to show you, and that was not a good idea, was it? Okay, now I've got a smeared mess. We'll do that. We'll just flip that over onto the back. And I'm going to just put the glue right there again, and I'll quit talking for a minute. A few seconds. There we go. Okay, so I've got that glued on. Now we're able to pick the whole piece up with the white on it. Glue that on. You can use Stampin' Seal if you want, but it sure is nice to have a little way to have a little wiggle room. So I'm just getting that where I have an even border all the way around. And then I'm going to glue this layer all the way down. And you could, if you wanted to cut something out of here, which normally I do, I just didn't have time today to do that. Cut something out to save a little bit of that paper since it's not showing. I don't know why I'm doing that on front. Should be doing it on the back. It's because I'm chit-chatting too much. That's why. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of center that in this area. And like I said, if you want to cut a hole out, it's not going to show. So you could cut one of these smaller shapes out of that one. And you could even cut one out of this one if you want. We're going to pop this layer up on top of that. This is Hydrangea Hue. And this is Early Espresso. So we'll just pop that up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And since we've got a little bit more on the sides, let's see, we probably don't, yeah, that's probably okay. No, I'm going to move it. I'm going to move this over to this end. We might just go ahead and put one here too. And I'm not going to put one right there because we're going to have this there. And that way I'm not triple layering it. Okay, so I've got that popped up. Now all we like is this cute little frame. Isn't that darling? With it's just that original artwork. I'm so glad that we were able to take advantage of the fact that the copyright is available for people to use now. Others. It has run out in the US only. There's still a copyright on Winnie the Pooh stuff, this style, from the artist in other countries, but the US, we're able to reproduce that. So that makes it wonderful to be able to bring that nostalgic feeling back. And thank y'all to everybody who's watching. Y'all let me know when you tune in. I would appreciate it. So you can, if you want to make a comment and let me know who you are and where you're from, that would be awesome. Okay, I think we've got that done. Now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So we'll stamp the inside and we'll stamp the greeting. And I've got "You're the Sweetest." I have a little bit cleaner mat here I can use. Didn't think about that earlier. Okay, we've got "You're the Sweetest," and we're going to use Early Espresso. If you wanted to use Hydrangea Hue, you could. I just feel like the darker the sentiments are, the better they're going to show up, the easier it is for them to read. So we're doing "You're the Sweetest." And you kind of have to get it a little above center so you've got room for your butterfly. Just straight down, straight up. Try not to wiggle. And you'll get a good impression. Then while we've got this ink out, we're going to do the inside of the card, which is another one of the greetings from the Silly Old Bear Suite. This is the Sweet Friends, I think it's called. Sweet. Let's see. Sweet Old Friends. Yes, Sweet Old Friends stamp set. And I'm going to put this toward the upper left. Try to get that kind of straight. I was tilted down a little bit. I may try that again. And I'll quit talking. And this feels unlevel. I don't know what the deal is there. But I try to do this in the upper left if I've got something to put down here, whether I stamp it or I have fussy cut it like I have today. So that's our Early Espresso ink. We'll clean that off really quickly and get to the next step. And we have more of the painted patterns paper. Lots of alliteration there. And we're just going to put this little stripe, which is, I measured it a while ago for you, which is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4, I believe. Get our little glue mat out so we don't make a mess everywhere. And I like to leave a little space underneath if I do a strip of DSP to bring kind of the outside of the card in. I usually leave a little space of white rather than putting this all the way to the edge, but that's a totally your preference. You do it however you'd like. It's your card. You create it however you want. Okay, let's just glue our little Winnie the Pooh over here. And seeing Winnie the Pooh always makes me think of my mom because her name was Winnie. And I do miss her. Okay, we've got the little Winnie the Pooh over here. And we're going to have Piglet right beside him. And wouldn't you like to be a recipient of this card and get a little note from a friend that says they'll love you forever and even after that? Isn't that a sweet sentiment? I love that. And I don't think it has to be to your spouse. I think it could be to a close friend. I also think this would be a darling little baby card with this hydrangea hue color. I think it's so beautiful. It's one of our new ones. But I think with the Pooh and Piglet, it could just be really cute as a baby card. What do y'all think? Think you could use it for that? Okay, we're going to use a little bit of our hydrangea hue ribbon. And I'm going to get some Stampin' Seal for the back of this. Well, that hair just keeps sticking to me here. I'm shedding. Let's see if we can get this going. Okay, and then I'm just making a little faux bow so that I don't have a big knot. So I'm just going to go like that, make a loop, and stick that to this existing Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to put a little bit more right here. And then I'll fold that over. Looks like I didn't get that very even, did I? Okay, let's see. Move that up just a little bit. Okay, can you see what I'm doing here? As I let go. Okay, now we've got it upside down, don't we? We can fix that. Easy peasy. So you say, right? Okay, that's a sweet little bow. Okay, we're going to make sure that's glued right there. In fact, I'm going to just get a glue dot to stick the ribbon together. Normally, if you were just sticking on a bow, you would take the ribbon to the glue dot. But on here, oh, and I didn't get my ribbon scissors a while ago. We will do our best to get a straight cut with these. It's always best to have dedicated scissors just for ribbon and fabric. But that worked. So we've got You're the Sweetest. Now we're going to pop that up with dimensionals. I'm just going to put, let's see, I better not put that up there. Hold on. I think we're just going to put it just at the top, and then we'll probably put a glue dot on this layer because we're going to glue dot down here to dimensional that, and then it'll be even with this layer. Does that make sense? So you're not stacking two on top of each other. I think that's going to work. And then we'll add our darling little butterfly from the 26 to 28 butterfly embellishments. 26 to 28 in colors. And I'm just doing that kind of this way. We want him to face a little bit in. You want your eye to be led into the card and not out of the card. So I would either do him straight up or just in a little bit like this. And that is a simple card, just like I promised. Much easier than the first one. All I did was fussy cut these out of the designer series paper, and I did that before the video so that y'all didn't have to watch that like you did on the first video. So we're going to use a little Wink of Stella, and oh my, this says mic is muted. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me know. And I like to go around. Let's see. I think I've got one that's a little newer. That one's a little running out. I like to take the Wink of Stella. If I've got these, like this is from the Stitched Shapes dies, this little circle. And I am just going around and kind of making that look almost like a layer, like a shiny layer behind that, which is really pretty. And I'm going to give him a little sparkle In fact, I'm going to just go all over Winnie and Piglet. Pooh and Piglet. And I'm going to give a little bit of this crunchy snow ice looking a little sparkle while we're at it too. Then I'm going to go around in here in that layer between the two lines, two sets of lines there. Not sure this is my latest one or not. Let's push. No, not very much in there left, but it will be enough. For this card, I'll find it before the next one. Hope y'all are having a great day. I appreciate you tuning in. And this is one of the really simple cards in this collection. Most of them are fun folds, but this one is still fun, even though it's not a fun fold, right? I think it's a cute card. And if you're interested in that tutorial, the link will be in the description of the video, as will the list of the other supplies. So I'm thrilled that you're here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me switch over so I can say bye. Let's hold up the card one more time. So the You're the Sweetest, that you could change that to Welcome Baby. You could use whatever stamp set you have and turn this into a cute little baby card, or it can just be a friend card and thinking of you, or just let somebody know how much you care about them and give them that warm fuzzy feeling they got when they were listening to or reading the Winnie the Pooh storybooks. So this is all from the Silly Old Bear suite from Stampin' Up. That's in an online exclusive for May. It is not in the catalog. You cannot find it in the catalog. You'll just need to go to kellypitts.stampinup.net and click shop, and you can go to online exclusives and find this whole suite. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'm going to do another video after this one. So stay tuned. Come back. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help. Thanks. Bye-bye.